welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Mufaro and we are the Make Your Monday family, and we are all about getting our lives together by having constructive conversations which shape our Monday, because Mondays ultimately shape our weeks and our weeks roll into the years and the years basically make our lives. So if you're looking for a community where we can just have honest, open, transparent and constructive conversations, then this is definitely the family you want to be a part of. So what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. And to all my returning, my Monday makers, my movers and my shakers, welcome back. Thank you so much for clicking on another video. Thank you so much for engaging. To all the new subbies, hey, we're so happy to have you as part of our family. And yeah, so yes, I always forget, guys, but I'm learning. So you want to follow us? We have an Instagram page, and it's called Make_Your_Monday Make_Your_Monday, and that's on Instagram. The reason why I'm saying you should follow us on Instagram is because we have posts that we do there that like can't really post here on YouTube. So yeah, basically we just have like cute snippets and a lot of stuff that we do that's on YouTube. So definitely subscribe, and you can also follow me on my personal Instagram, which is at Mufaromumba _Dove. I'll link both of them on the screen below. So without talking to too much right? In today's video, as you can tell by the title, I'm sure you're wondering, like, what is the greatest investment that I can invest in? Like, I mean, is it stocks? Is it shares? But no, I actually want to talk about something that is your biggest asset before we can even talk about the stock market, before we talk about shares, bonds, all of that financial stuff. I want to talk about the best and biggest asset that you have in this life, and that asset is you. You are actually your biggest investment that you can invest in. You are your biggest asset that you can actually invest in. And so in today's video, we are going to unpack that. We want to talk about self-discovery, we want to talk about self-love, and the last part being self-investment. So self-discovery, I mean, a lot of us, like, you just landed here. You came on the planet, you know, you were given a name, you probably didn't ever say in it, and you were taken to, you grew up in a house that probably, you know, had you been given the opportunity, you would have selected another home, but you know, God in His goodness knew what He was doing. And so most of us have never really had time to figure ourselves out. Guys, every time I flew, there's a helicopter. I don't know why. Maybe it's a sign that I should purchase one. But sorry for the background noise. Yeah, so I was saying that you are your biggest asset that you can invest in. And if any of you you know, do stocks, investments, like we're going to talk about that in another video, but if any of you are financially literate, you know that the biggest part before you invest in anything is that you have to do your research. Nothing can trump research. There's I think it's one of the laws, like in the book of The Richest Man of Babylon, and he speaks about how the 5 laws of money. So we'll talk about that when we talk about finances, but I'm just going to share one with you right now, where he speaks about like gold respects you investing with people who know what they're talking about, with people who are familiar with the market. So before we can rush to talking about self-investment, it's important that we actually talk about self-discovery. Have you discovered yourself? Have you figured out who you are? We know we spend a lot of time, we study, you know, we go to school, we specialize in a certain area, and you know, you become a bachelor expert. Sometimes you even take it up, you become a master's expert in that field, you become a doctorate. But today I want to encourage you to take it like to a PhD level of knowing yourself. Discover yourself, discover who you are. And you're probably wondering, okay, Mufaro, but like, how am I going to do that? One of the things is that you have to learn to spend time by yourself. Yeah. For my chatters, that can be a bit hard, but it's important. So ways you can incorporate that is take yourself out on a date. right? So I know all of you, you've got the 36 questions, those dating app questions you ask them to yourself. Yes, take yourself out on a date and ask yourself the questions you would ask someone else and answer yourself. This will help you, and don't like give like a textbook answer because it doesn't help anything. But have an honest conversation and say, okay, so Mufaro, tell me, who's Mufaro? Okay, Mufaro is naturally shy and so forth, so on, and just have that honest conversation with yourself, because whatever you have not discovered, or you know, like how they talk about where an untreated wound, you can't treat what you don't know. So how are you going to invest in something that you don't know? So it is important that you know yourself. And again, a big part of why you need to know yourself, like Miles Monroe said, he said, where purpose is unknown, abuse is inevitable. The reason why some of us are in some of those wild relationships, the reason why you put yourself through certain things where you're just like, now you're like, what was I thinking? What was I doing? Lack of self-knowledge. It's because you didn't know yourself. You don't even know your purpose. You don't know why you're here. So of course you subject yourself to anything and everything. But if you discover yourself and you discover that you have self-value and you discover your self-worth, baby, you can't just move anyhow. Like, I can't just move anyhow. I'm a role model. Child. Like, so learn to discover yourself. What has God placed inside of you? Who does He say you are? What are your gifts? What are your talents? When you know those things, you now know where to place yourself. You now know that these kind of spaces are going to further me. These kind of spaces, they're not really good for me. These things are my Achilles heels. And by doing so, if I put myself in such and such a space, like it's my weakness, so it's not going to help me. So self-discovery is so key and so crucial. Then the second thing is, once you've discovered yourself, do you know it becomes so much easier to love yourself? Many of us struggle to love ourselves because you don't even know who you are. You actually don't know who you are. Like, you spend all this time with this inside here, but you don't even know who you are. And I always think about this. Like, I had an epiphany moment, and I think it was 2018. Yeah, that's when I decided to lose weight, right? So I just thought, and I was like, I don't want, imagine after 50, 60, 70, 80 years, however many years I'm going to be here on earth, that the day I depart from my body, I look at it and say, I never got to know you. Or I never spent time with you. Or, oh my gosh, you were such an amazing person, but I never grew to love you. Like, I think that's one of the saddest things. And we have that with so many people, that we are so good at loving other people. And I even put a question mark on love, because how are you able to give something that you yourself don't know? If you can't love yourself, how are you loving someone else? Because what are you giving them? You yourself, you can't even receive love. You can't even tell what form it's coming in. You can't even discern and see that, oh, this is love that's coming my way. And we're out here saying like, oh, I'm giving out love, but you can't give yourself love. I've got so many questions for you. Honestly, I have like a million questions for you. Like, is it really love? Like, I don't know what you're doing, but girl, we need to revise that. So definitely learn to love yourself. Figure yourself out. Know who you are. You know, my mentor always tells me this, that he's like, most of the choices we make, we wouldn't make them if we actually knew who we were. Like, if you actually spent time with yourself and you discovered what you like and you knew the person you're going to become in future, we would guard ourselves more jealously. We would be very intentional about our relationships. The English bundle. We would be intentional about our relationships. We would actually check to see, like, this person who I'm trying to yoke myself to, the person who I'm trying to like build something with, are they actually, like, do we match Can they see my value? But do I also have the ability to see their value? And that's the thing, is that if you don't know your own self-worth, it's very hard for you to see the worth of someone else. And that's why we have people who treat other people like trash. It's because you yourself think of yourself as trash. You think of yourself very lowly, and so as such, you cannot give things that you don't have. You cannot give respect, because you yourself, you can't even respect yourself. You don't respect yourself. So self-love, and our self-love, once you love yourself, you then realize, I want to take care of myself. I want to make sure I look good. I want to make sure I smell nice. I want to make sure that I'm taking care of my body, whatever form it's looking like, being the best version of yourself, eating as best as you can to make sure that you are caring for your temple, dressing it up because you're not doing it for people, but because you actually love yourself and you value yourself. Like, I have a personal principle. I'm going to deliver. I'm sorry, but I'm going to deliver. I'm gonna look good. Why? Because it's coming from the inside. I love myself enough to dress up, not for anyone else, but for this girl right here. So when we have discovered ourselves, we're able to love ourselves. And when we love ourselves, we're able to take care of ourselves, because we see that this is something worth taking care of. I am actually valuable. I can take care of myself. So, like I always say also, when you also love yourself, then the things that matter to you, you can also prioritize them. You can do the things that matter to you, and you take yourself out on dates. I kid you not, guys, solo dating is one of the best things you can do. Even if you are married to someone, you should still solo date, because you're constantly evolving, you're constantly changing. There's situations that come up and you see a different side of yourself. You need to take yourself out, figure out, okay, I can see myself in this light. Like I always tell you guys, I never saw myself sitting to film. I mean, I'm here by myself, like sitting to film and put my face out in public on YouTube. From 5 years ago, would have told you it's not possible. But I'm evolving, I'm changing, and I love it for me. And when you love yourself, you can show up for yourself. That's the best thing you can do, is to learn to show up for yourself, which takes me to our third point, which is self-investment. Now that you love this thing, guys, there's no person, whether it's your car, whether it's your job, whatever, things that you love, you invest in those things. You make sure that your car, you take it to service. You make sure that it's, it gets new wheels, whatever, oil, all that stuff. Yeah, that stuff. But you make sure that your car is well taken care of. The same goes for you. So you will prioritize taking yourself out. You will prioritize holidays. You will prioritize doing things that are good for you. But you will also invest in yourself. And what does investing in yourself look like? Investing in yourself means you're going to make sure that you're reading the right books. Guys, I always talk about reading. It's so important that we are reading like sensible books. Why? Because it opens up your mind. It shows you that there's a whole world out there, and that you can actually dream. You can dream bigger than what you're thinking right now, or that it actually validates your dreams and lets you know that, hey, actually what you're dreaming of, it's it, girl, go for it. It actually makes sense. And self-investment, you will begin to take up courses. You begin to do stuff. Guys, I don't want to lie to you. There's the college of YouTube. You can do anything and everything. If you don't know how to bake, you can upskill yourself. You learn on YouTube. You don't know how to do interior design. You invest in yourself. You invest in the things that will then matter to you. You invest in good books. You invest in quality clothes. Invest in your appearance. You invest in your education. And in the space of, investing in your education, it's not all the time that, like I was saying, that maybe you don't have access to funds and you can't necessarily take yourself like into a degree, but there are a lot of short courses. And for my IT girlies, I'm actually going to link below. There's a site that I found, well, there are two actually, where you can take the courses and you get a free certificate just to like to get your feet wet, so that you can understand, okay, this thing that I wanted to do, they just teach you like the basics, the fundamentals, and you can see, do I actually want to go further with this? Do I want to take it deeper? If you love cooking, spoil yourself, save up for a one-on-one class with a chef or anyone you admire. Those things will only come when you've discovered yourself, because when you discover yourself, you can discover the things that you love. You can discover that these are the things that make me happy. These are the things that make me tick. These are the things that make me function at my very best. Sometimes you actually cannot excel because you don't even know what's the best environment for yourself. You don't even know. Are you a fish? Are you a bird? So if you put a fish out of water, it doesn't do well. You will think this little thing, like it can't do anything. But put it in water, you will see it swims and it will flourish. Same with the bird. Water is not for it, but put it in the sky, it will soar, it will fly. But you cannot know that if you do not spend time with yourself, if you do not take an initiative to discover yourself, so that you learn to love yourself. And this will even flow into your relationships, it will flow into your friendships, because you're going to befriend people who are maybe of similar mindsets to you, or people who add value to your life. You're going to get into relationships that reflect your self-worth. You're going to undertake activities that reflect your self-worth. You're going to love yourself because you're going to make sure that you are bathing, you're taking good care of your skin, you take good care of your hair, you take good care of your body, you're taking good care of your spirit. Let's not forget our spirit, man. All those things emanate from self-love, and you are in a better position to give the very love that you are claiming you want to give out to people. And the last thing being that you will then learn to invest in yourself. You will then realize that actually I want to be going on a holiday, so I need to invest in my financial literacy. I don't really know. Okay, I want to cook healthier meals. You're going to invest in your health. Oh, maybe I need to, do more research. I don't know. Go to the gym. Whatever it's going to be, let this nonsense stop. This, I don't love myself, I don't like myself, please. Let it stop. Yes, as your internet bestie, I'm telling you, that nonsense needs to stop. We need to learn to love ourselves, so that at the end of your life, you can say, I loved being in this house. I loved getting to know you. I loved taking care of you. I loved making you smile. I loved doing things that were significant to you and made your life worth living. So, I think we've reached the end of our video. Again, please don't forget to comment, like, and most of all, if you have not subscribed, child, after this chat, what are you waiting for? Subscribe. And yeah, so we'll be in our midweek, right? So on Wednesday you can expect our midweek Bible study. And so what we're going to be speaking about is a build-up of our previous first Bible study, where we spoke about like getting our relationship started with God. And now we're going to speak about like what actually happens in the relationship. How do you maintain the relationship? How do we grow that relationship? So yeah, before you head over to that video, please do go and check out the first video. I will try and link it up. Yeah, I'll link it up. And yeah, so from me to you, mwah, see you in our next video.